This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code Dan for a special offer when you sign up. That's code Dan, only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
This has been pissing me off to no end in the last 2 years as I've been searching for apartments around here. I don't know if this is a Miami thing or now every city does this, but the Penthouse is not every apartment on the top floor of a building. If you live in a 700 square foot 1-1 on the top floor of a building, it's not a penthouse. And we need to stop calling.
Technically, it is, though.
No, it is. No,
it's the top floor.
Mean, technically, it is.
It's just the top floor.
It's a 1-1 like every other apartment, is what you're saying?
I've been in buildings where there's a PH1 and a PH2, and it's literally just the 19th and 20th floor. And all of the layouts are the exact same. There's nothing fancy on that top floor. I don't know, Tony, you've been apartment hunting, too.
Yeah, I was a resident of a PH floor. I was PH2, and everybody's like, oh, wow, PH2. I'm like, nah, it's just a 800 square foot place on the 12th floor. That's it.
Really?
The exact same.
And I imagine there's a significant markup.
They charge more rent.
I'm sorry to cut you off. If you're PH2, you got to own PH2.
Well, no, I did. Still,
but
obviously.
they don't need to know that information. Only you need to know that information. They need it to be a mystery.
But at some point, they're going to come over to PH2. It's going to be an 800 square foot apartment.
Well, this is where Stugotz's life falls apart, and he never takes that one that far out. Like, yes, I'm just going to ride PH2 right up until they show up at my place. It's got a hospital cot for a bed.
I'll figure it out when I get there, Dana.
But I live in a PH2.
You live in an actual PH, though.
But can it be a PH? Wait a minute. I live in a PH2. It's not the top. The top floor is PH. After that, you shouldn't have another PH. It should be. There's one PH.
PH2 is better, though. I mean,
no, I'm not in the better one. I am in the. There's a place above mine that is better.
Really?
Yes. I am not in the penthouse. What are you, Whittingham? What are you laughing about?
Billy is heckling you from the kitchen while he's supposed to be reporting on First Take.
All right, go ahead, Billy. I'm sorry. What are you heckling me about?
Hey, Dan, it's Billy. I'm over in the kitchen. When you said that you don't live in the penthouse and we're kind of playing it down like your place isn't nice, there was a roar of laughter on this side of the studio amongst the people who have been to your apartment, which is quite nice.
I wasn't saying it wasn't nice. I'm just saying there's one above me that is bigger and better, and so does mine get to be a penthouse if there's one above me that's a penthouse?
Dan, I have a separation here, right? So it's like for those of us on the PH floor that we have to open an elevator and then walk to our place, that's a different story. You live on a place where the elevator is your house.
Yeah, it goes right
that's
into
a
the
different
house.
story. That's a penthouse.
That is ballin'.
Yeah.
That's a PH.
Yeah. So I guess they're in that situation. You can have multiple PHs. For me, I agree with you, Tony. The PH is the floor is yours. You have the entire floor to yourself. Whereas if you just have PH8 and it's a 1-1 and 770 square feet and it does have room for a washer and dryer, then no, you don't.
Jessica,
you don't live in a PH.
Did you feel like it was false advertising? Were you looking for? Yes, Billy.
Oh, I'm still live. Okay, I have a question. What is better about the apartment above you? Because I remember your place has just a wall of water. So, like, you just walk by and it's just a water wall that's there.
Have you been to the one upstairs?
Yes, it's twice as large and it's got a pool.
A pool?
What? Wow.
Oh, my.
Man,
Who lives in that one?
You are slumming it.
McAfee? No, Dan, I was not looking for a penthouse apartment. I live on, like, the third floor. Like, the markup of the penthouse apartment is just part of the scam around here. They're all just trying to get you.
How much do they mark it up? Are you positive they're
Hundreds of dollars
really?
a month. I'm positive.
900 to be exact.
Wait, so you're on floor PH and there are a bunch of 1-1s there?
Yeah, 1-1. They're mostly 1-1s, some 1-2s, and these are like all the buildings around.
Okay.
And if you go to like Brickell, Stugotz, go look at all the PHs. There's maybe like 2 actual PHs in all of Brickell. The rest are just 1-1s.
The PH, you're right. So I stand corrected because the PH needs to be all the 1-1s. All the walls need to be knocked down. That whole story is yours.
Yeah, like
the
a big
whole floor needs
loft.
to be yours.
Like a big loft. You got the floor. That's a penthouse.
Correct.
If you're the floor underneath, like Dan, you're not the penthouse. You just have a really, really nice ass apartment.
So I'm not the penthouse then.
I don't think you're the penthouse.
Wait a minute. You guys have not come to a conclusion then.
I disagree with
No,
Chris
but Dan's
Whittingham.
is the only apartment on that floor.
Yes, that's one of the distinctions.
doesn't mean it's a penthouse.
And the elevator comes to
The
my
elevator's
floor.
straight there, yeah.
But it's not a private elevator. It's
But you
not
don't have
my
you
elevator.
don't have a car elevator. Ooh. So, I mean,
Those
nice is
are
it really?
unbelievable. Every once in a while, I go on Zillow and I start looking at apartments that cost $18 million just to see. And
I did this the other night in Santa Fe, New Mexico. There is a fascinating house formerly owned by George O'Keefe for sale for $18 million. We should buy it.
The most expensive
saw-
Zillow listing I've ever seen is $100 million in San Diego. It's like 12 beds, 18 baths.
Oh, that pales in comparison to the one in the Grove me and Billy are going to buy for $150.
It's 2 houses, though.
Yeah, it's 2 houses, one for me, one for Billy.
Wow.
First take reports. Billy is in the kitchen right now. I do see that it seems like the hair is tousled of one Chris Mad Dog Russo. Billy, what do you have as an update on what's going on First Take?
Hey, Dan, it's Billy. So last segment, Booger joined, and it was the first time in months he had been on with Stephen A. Smith, and the topic they were discussing, Tampa Bay, which is Tampa Bay, the Bucks, but it's Tom Brady, so they call it Tampa Bay. So, anyways, Booger, the question was asked, is he more confident or concerned with the Bucks? He's more confident with the Bucks, Dan. Thanks for asking. So then Mad Dog said that he's more concerned with the Bucks because he thinks that they're going to have a bad year because Tom Brady's 45 and one day he's going to play like he's 45. Now, Stephen A. did not like that. He took the position that Stugotz has taken for a long time, which is don't do that. I care about you. So then Mad Dog started listing all the reasons why he has issues with Tampa Bay, and one of them was that their coach was 24-40 with the Jets. And then Stephen A. said, don't hold that against him. Don't hold that against Todd Bowles because there's, quote, a true black cat running around the Jets organization. And that's the reason why the Jets have been bad because the black cat has been running around.
Right.
Cogent analysis.
Good.
Everyone's 24-40 is Jets head coach.
Well, so here's the thing. Then Doggy said 24-40 is 24-40. As Bill Parcells said, you are who you are. So Bill Parcells was invoked in that conversation.
No, he didn't say that.
Yeah,
The
that's a
quote was,
misquote.
you are who your record says you are, is the quote. You are who you are is useless as a quote.
Well, things are coming fast and furious, so maybe I got that one wrong. Because the thing is, I'm also distracted because right now they're currently talking about the best current rivalry in college football, but we'll get to that later on, possibly.
Is there going to be a top 5, Billy?
What's that now?
Will there be a top 5 best rivalry?
I
in
think
college
that we
football?
may have missed Steven's A-list, but I'm not 100% sure if we've seen
But how about
Steven's A-list
Doggy's
or
top
not yet.
5?
Yeah, it's a little later in the proceedings than we're used to. Anyways, Stephen A. is worried about the Saints and the Bucks, even though the Bucks had the Saints number in the postseason, because I guess in the regular season, the Saints have had the Bucks number, but in the postseason, the Bucks have had the Saints number. Anyway, so then Doggy told us the over-under is 11.5. Bet the under when it comes to Tampa Bay. And then Chris Russo apparently has spent the entire show. He was going down the schedule and telling you which games are going to win, which games are going to lose, which is a classic and something that maybe we should do one day and get sponsored here on the show. So Chris Russo was doing that with Tampa Bay, and he was saying how Trey Lance is going to have their number, and then he was saying how the Rams are going to have their number, and listing all of these as losses for Tampa Bay. And then Stephen A. reminded him, you spent the entire show telling us how Trey Lance is not going to get it done, and you spent the entire show telling us how the Rams are going to be underwhelming this season, to which Doggy responded, he's got me.
What?
Yeah.
No.
That's never happened before.
No, what? What?
Admitted defeat by the end of the thing, and then they were having a great laugh, the two of them, and then we closed the segment with them getting predictions from Stephen A. and Booger, both of which said that the Buccaneers are going to go 12-5 this year. Back to you, Dan.
Okay, thank you, Billy.
What a big day.
An excellent report. You were live on the scene when Chris
Doggy was
Russo
had.
admitted he got me. It was said out loud on
Never happened
on a
before.
debate show. It was we were witness to a historic checkmate where you cannot admit defeat. You cannot admit that anyone's got you. You have to slither to the side. But one of the things that I do want to address before we head into yet another football season of America's most magical game, the idea that we're still on television before that season talking about 45-year-old Tom Brady, as he says, I need 11 days off, I'm 45, a lot of shit happens. The idea that we're still analyzing this dude and the art of Stugotz gets to be right about never doubting Tom Brady.
You started to doubt 10 years ago.
Because he defies age by 8 years on any precedent ever created. It is a real, hey, Batard, you and all your numbers situation. All your analysis, all your predictors. That Stugotz gets to be right about this is one of the most amazing stories ever told in art.
He's a genuine visionary because you weren't doing your numbers and your data and your all that stuff. You were just going how normal human beings behave.
Yes.
That's really all you were doing. Is
correct.
Yeah, most athletes are done by 40.
Yes.
And to not only like carry on, like there is a version in which like Tom Brady becomes like Jimmy Garoppolo in his 40s, and that would have been incredible. But to then like lead the league in passing when you're 44 years old?
He won a Super Bowl 2 years ago and an MVP.
But do you know what a punch in the face it is to the gas bag to offer you the gentle criticism of his deep ball is not as accurate and he might be aging in a way that our eyes are too human to discern his greatness, how it ages? That would be the height of insult, and he would bury me in it for 8 years as Stugotz gets to wave his flag atop. That's right. I'm riding the golden unicorn of no precedent ever for 45 bleeping year old guy heading into a season. And if he won the MVP, you'd be surprised.
No. You would? Still.
I mean, just...
If they win the Super Bowl, I'm not surprised.
Stugotz, I mean, at some point, the number has to catch up.
Dan.
Like, do you imagine...
Dan.
I was thinking about this, Stugotz. Let's
I care about you.
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to do the predictable thing of questioning him.
He's won 5 Super Bowls since you said he was done.
Let's do this another way. As he gives us the most honest version of him we've ever seen, as he's trying to craft his brand for the next incarnation of Tom Brady winning in this fight against Romo and Aikman and everyone else with whatever he's going to do with the rest of his life. And as at his home, he's got growing up kids and a wife who's been saying for years, hey, let's go, come home. And he's like, I don't want this to ever end. I've got a fountain of youth. What are you talking about? Nobody throws this away. And then to be called home for 11 days for whatever the reason is. Life happened. Somebody got sick. The kids,
a lot of shit going on.
The kids need some attention. Hey, you said that it was going to be different this year than all the other years of this is a consuming thing being football. And we think it's the most important thing, but that family, like... They need a dad at home or a wife needs a husband. And so we don't know what's happening there, but what would be your best guess on what's happening there when Tom Brady says a lot of shit going on? And is it fair to even guess? Because my thought was this dude has been obsessive compulsive about this thing, as you must be, to be excellent at it. And I can't imagine, as big as his life is, that would allow him to also always be present, loving with family, present, like there.
Now, Dan, he has said that he has missed a lot of important stuff for his wife, for his kids, for himself, but he loves this thing. He's still great at this thing.
And all of us understand why he would understand that thing. And I understand why a family would think to itself, well, why do you love that thing more than you love us? Why do you love the thing in service of daddy?
I think as the kids get older, it gets cooler and cooler that, hey, my dad is Tom Brady.
But what do you imagine's happening there? Did you allow yourself, is it fair to even guess, as the athlete of our time somehow keeps everything with him private, he's somehow managed, on top of all his other victories, it's not just making me look like a fool for daring to say he'd aged like a human being. Look like a total fool, an ass. Yeah, I said the most scandalous thing. It's the rare has been the Max Kellerman still gets buried by just predicting, casually and with arrogance. Yes, there will be a precipitous decline now. Why? Why do I know that? Because it happens to every quarterback ever at 37. I could feel pretty confident about that Tom Brady will not have another Hall of Fame career after that, and now have as many NFC playoff victories as Aaron Rodgers.
To answer your question, the place I went to, because his parents have had some health issues in the past, I think his dad has. That's where I went to. That he had to be there for his mom and dad. But it could be. It's pointless in guessing what it is he was doing. It could be movies. I
just like that we, in this one instance, in one of America's most famous athletes and its greatest winners, takes 11 days off from work. And there he makes us genuflect and respect privacy as well. He gets to keep his privacy there. And I'm like, okay, he gets to bend the machine to to his will. Nobody's going to find out why he's missing 11 days of work in America's most popular sport. What's dragging him at home? And his quote is the greatest. Like I'm telling you, it's the greatest quote I've ever heard from Tom Brady.
Cuts right to it.
Look, man, it's hard to be 45. I'm running after. I don't know what's happening with the kids at school. Like
he's also running like 5 businesses too at the same time, and so yeah, he's got a lot of shit going on. I do like the conspiracy theory that it was plastic surgery based, but.
Well, that's Jamel. Is that Jamel's theory or somebody else's theory?
Mike has talked about this on the show. His hair.
It's been trending on Twitter for like 4 days.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like a lot.
Middle part, his hair
people's
color.
theories.
There's a lot of that going on there. By the way, Tom Brady is second favorite to be the MVP of the NFL. He's plus 850. He's plus 850.
Who's first?
Josh Allen at plus 650.
Oh my God!
He's ahead of Mahomes.
Yes, Mahomes has longer odds to win the MVP than Tom Brady does.
Are you guys alleging to me, though, before this season starts? Because I remember some of this TMZ coverage started with Tom Brady. I was fairly shocked to learn when the New York Post reported that Tom Brady was going to a hair transplant place at the New York Post many, many years ago. And I was like, oh, that doesn't seem fair to report that. That seems like an invasion that's unnecessary. And everything after that, Tom Brady's been able to keep private. Are you making the allegation that the internet is hypothesizing that Tom Brady before an NFL season just took 11 days off because a lot of shit he's got going on is that he's got to get his face ready like Tom Cruise for the next 15 years of his broadcast career?
I was actually thinking,
career.
Yes, I agree. You know what? I was thinking about this. I was thinking about, do you think that Tom Brady, part of his success as an older man in football is looking in the mirror and not seeing an old man? That if one day he looked in the mirror and saw wrinkles and gray hair, that he couldn't perform at the level he's performed at. He maintains who he was because in the mirror he still is who he was.
Look, this is one of the athletes of our times, and his winning will be a mystery. He makes Belichick look like a fool in the rearview mirror, but I really do foresee a day where he just signed the 15-year contract with Fox that makes me look like a fool yelling. He's never proven it because his broadcast 12 years from now is going to be him taking the snap as the MVP of the league for another defending champion and then broadcasting as he runs out of the huddle. And this is what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to run over here, and he's going to be broadcasting while on the field, breathless at 58 years old, and he's going to revolutionize the game.
Breathless.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to chuck it over there to that guy on the left.
Not even sweating.
Chuck it over to Mike Evans Jr. over there on the left sideline.
Junior.
Do you realize that the only thing that will stop Tom Brady is his family wanting him at home? Like, you guys are telling me that
hasn't stopped him yet.
There's no number. Nothing will stop him. Time doesn't stop him. Nothing will stop him. He is a robot monster from the future. Like, he's a ghost. You got Dan Campbell out here calling a wide receiver with 600 yards a serpent and a freaking snake and a spider, a spider demon. What's Tom Brady? He's defying every principle
a goat.
Of aging, of athletics, of competition.
Dan, last year he threw for the most yardage he's ever thrown for in a season. Last year.
It's just, what do you even say? I mean, we've been doing this for 4 years, 5 years.
Dan's been doing it for 8.
But it's got to stop. What I'm asking you is there's got to be an age. It's just going to stop when he wants it to.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that this past season was the end. I thought valiant effort, great performance in the regular season, great performance in the playoffs, a lot of talk about retirement, goes and retires. That seemed like a perfect time for him to go out on top, as it were.
The reason I'm so fascinated by the family love, living life constructs of you arrive at 45 years old. He's learned so much. You've seen how he's presenting his brand now so that he can win after retirement the same way that he won before retirement. The part that I'm finding fascinating as he finds Zen life balance in the middle of 5 businesses and trying to win a championship, and the pressures of that don't seem like they seem anxiety inducing. No matter how many employees you have, it comes with a great many responsibilities to be Tom Brady, father among them, but like that one's enough. Father's enough, husband's enough. Like, it can get complicated. And so when it becomes, you've got a family decision at home, your wife wants you home, like it's time to go. But the calling on the other side is, hey, Tom, you realize how hard this is, right? Like, you realize how weird it is that you're 7 years past being still great in this sport. Everyone wants this fountain of youth. Nobody would ever walk away playing the game he does, where it doesn't physically hurt that much, Stugotz.
Right.
Somehow it doesn't physically hurt that much for him to play it that way.
Why would you walk away? I mean, he had 43 touchdowns and 12 interceptions last year.
But for love of life and wife and family over love of game, love of youth, love of yourself, love of competition. It's a real crossroads if your wife wants you home. I don't know if that's what's happening, but if your wife keeps wanting you home, sure. A man trying to decide again and again, why would I give away a fountain of youth? Why would you ever ask me to sell a fountain of youth? Everyone wants this for one last year, and I can do it forever.
But I think she knows that. I do wonder because Dan, at some point he's going to retire here, and it will be a lot earlier than most people, most spouses, your husband retires. And so she is going to have the luxury of having him home and the ability, excuse me,
$5.
Sorry.
You do owe 10 here today.
You owe 170.
I don't owe. You need to stop doing that.
And the ability, Dan, to do whatever they want moving forward for their kids. So whatever he's missed out on, and I'm sure it's been difficult, and it's been very hard on her, he's going to make it up to her in a big way.
Oh, I don't know.
Dan, he's going to retire by the time he's 50. Most men are still working. Most people are still working.
But his quality of life at some point, just historically, is not going to be what it is for most people that are retiring, right? Like, the wear and tear on his body is going to catch up to him.
But I think to Dan's point, there really hasn't been that much wear and tear on.
Well, but he's not pristine either, though, Stu. Guys, like, you can't keep taking. He is getting hit. He gets the ball out fast, and he is repairing his body. He's got, whether it's science or something else, through surgery and everything else, Stu. Guys, it is, to me, a fascinating conundrum. Like, it's a crossroads that I would love to hear him speak honestly about. Like, I don't know whether we'd ever see that as he brand manages and really protects his privacy. But whatever the human complications are of, your wife's just as successful as you are, and she's got a busy life too, and her coffee table books are like more than your salary in the NFL, and I don't know what the dynamics of that are, but I do know that he gets to be boss everywhere, and she's like every bit as boss as him, and I don't know how those kids are raised. Like, I don't know what's needed from daddy. Why does everything go into what daddy does?
But also, I think a lot of the conversation about their personal lives has been about fearing for the safety of hits, right? Is there one last hit that he's going to take that is going to significantly alter his health? Like we've talked about, what does quality of life look like? That's really the only thing that's ever been talked about as it relates to their personal life. But I don't know.
Can you imagine how hard a decision is for Tom Brady to let go of the fountain of youth? Nobody gets the fountain of youth. Everyone in that sport gets dragged off by the neck. Man, Peyton Manning was pretty great at what he did. Retired 5 years ago, and God knows what's happening in his neck with herniated disc, even though he didn't get hit very much either, and the ball came out awfully damn quick there, too, and his body doesn't work right.
I mean, it's a fascinating discussion. I do wonder if it's caused any sort of fractures in their relationship. I wonder it all the time. But he's so great at the thing that he does, and so is she. I think that if she wanted him to stop playing football, he would have done so many years ago. I do.
Okay, but it seems like she has wanted him to. I don't
know, Dan.
I mean, he said so. He has said so many.
I think she wants him there, but she also realizes at the same time, oh my God, you're doing this thing that is so important to you, is so important to us, and you're still doing it at the highest level, higher than anyone playing in the game. And I would like to think if, I were in a similar circumstance that my wife would say, hey, keep going, as long as you want to go. Keep going. Against
Stugotz, she has the same career.
Well, she doesn't play quarterback.
No, but she has this. She has the same. Like, yes, keep going. But this is a power couple. Yeah. A power couple.
I understand that.
But I mean, okay, so Dad, keep going. What about me?
Yeah, but maybe
aging in the beauty industry, aging in something that's pretty goddamn competitive too, and I've dominated the way you dominate over there. Why do I have to raise the kids? Like, I don't know what's happening there, but all of it feels like in play when Tom Brady is coming out and saying I'm 45 and I got a lot of shit going on.
Maybe this offseason when he fake retired and then went back, like part of it was his wife saying like, hey, like, why don't you go play a little more? Because he was around more, and it's like, oh, and then all the like little quirky things start, coming out, and then like dad jokes and stuff like that, and it's like, it's been 20 years since Tom's been around all the time, and now like, why don't we one last ride? You know what I mean? See if you can call Gronk, see if he'll play again. Which, by the way, middle of the season, keep an eye out for that.
Well, but let's talk about this for a second.
Because
keep an eye out.
Okay, but you guys tell me, as people in relationships, you guys tell me. How's it going over in the Brady household that Tom Brady is wandering around with Gronk over to Vegas and just in the power circles of these owners who run teams and schmoozing with Mark Davis around the bigot John Gruden and being like, hey, we'll bring you the championship over here. Gronk and Brady in Vegas just offering the championship to Miami to Las Vegas with Gronk as the friend that's running sidecar on the things on your business decisions. How's that going over in the Brady household? That Gronk is his right-hand man.
My wife would be upset just because I'm hanging out with Gronk.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I mean,
just because he's a friend.
Don Batard.
The Clevelander Hotel sits on a famous strip of land, and it's a party palace. There are sometimes these conventions that roll through here that are terrifying. A couple of weeks ago was the Bitcoin people.
Stugotz.
They call the event 70,000 tons of metal.
It's more than that.
It's a lot of metal, man.
I mean, listen to me, Roy. I love Miami. That music has made me consider moving.
You're talking about more of like the... like that.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz.
We brought a ringer in here. Oh, Papi is in the house here because we need a winning Wednesday. We need something. We need some luck. We haven't had any luck here with our gambling. We are not good at this. DraftKings has given us a lot of money to build a business, Dad, and we stink at gambling. So we're bringing in a ringer for winning Wednesday. But before we do that and Refran del Dia with Papi, I just want to clean up generationally here with my father now here. Phone habits. The way that phone habits have changed among all of us. Can you guys tell me how you imagine? I've got some questions for Papi. Papi, how do you use your phone? Do you make a lot of calls? Do you receive a lot of calls?
No, I don't make that many calls, and I don't receive that many calls. I just use it just to talk to your mother when I'm not with her.
And Hoiberg, yeah.
And Hoiberg, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. You and Fred Hoiberg.
Fred Hoiberg, that's right. I haven't heard from him in a long, long time, though. He must be doing very well.
Why?
Where is Fred Hoiberg?
Is he at?
Question.
I saw that Jim Mora was at some haunted house in
Coaches
Connecticut.
Nebraska now.
That's look at that. A Scott Frost joke in there somewhere.
Shocking.
Papi.
Yeah.
Wait, Jim Moore's at a haunted house? Like he lives there? Like what?
He does. He lives at a haunted house.
What
now.
are you guys talking about?
It's a thing.
Really?
Yeah, he said it.
No,
Jim Mora?
He's the head coach of UConn.
At UConn.
Okay.
Which, I mean, in recent times, that is the haunted house of college football. So.
Guys, he really lives in a haunted house. Look up the story.
He says they're good
I did
ghosts.
see that.
He said they're good ghosts,
You
though.
live in a haunted house, Billy.
I tried to do what Eric told us to do a couple months ago. Eric Myron told us to do a couple months ago on the show, which was kind of like tell the ghosts that they could like leave and go on and be on their other, whatever their next story. Yeah.
Right.
So I tried to do that, and I thought that I was good, but I keep waking. I'm still not convinced. I've had mediums and people tell me that it's a ghost. I'm still not 100% convinced, and I think it's just an electrical thing that an electrician could resolve, because the ghost makes the appearance simply by turning on the light of the hood vent. So I think it used to be the light of the hood vent, but now it's like turns on the hood vent to the low setting. So I'll wake up mornings and I'll just hear like a and I'm like, was like, did we cook something last night? Did we leave it on, or is the ghost back? And I'm not sure. And I told the ghost, I said, thank you for coming. We're happy that you're here. We're a happy family now. Thank you for taking care of this house. You can go on to your next journey. Go on to what's next in your world, ghost. I did it. And so far, I still wake up and so I think I may look into the electrician because I'm not sure.
Jim Mora, he says they're good ghosts, but I want you to put that on the poll, please, at Batard Show. Is it a ghost or something the electrician needs to fix?
Yeah, it says here, his house, he loves the location, the connection to the campus community, and the 6-minute walk of a commute. But there's a spooky soundtrack of doors that open at night, ominous shadows, and unexplained noises. Quote, I'm convinced it's haunted.
Isn't everything in Connecticut haunted?
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Batard Show.
Question.
Isn't everything in Connecticut haunted?
Why aren't we having Jim Mora on, though? I mean, he lives in a haunted house with friendly ghosts.
We'll put the call out.
But why can't you just settle for an 8-minute walk? You know what I mean? Like just walk 2 extra minutes to not live in a haunted house.
They're friendly, though.
Like I guess 6 is fine.
He didn't say friendly. He just said good.
Okay,
he didn't. I don't know if they're friendly ghosts.
Casper's not there.
I would do a lot. I could stomach a lot for a 6-minute commute. A 6-minute walk to work every day, I could stomach a lot.
That's not.
I take a 30-minute drive.
I would stomach ghosts. I would stomach ghosts for a 6-minute walk.
What about a ghoul? Where's the line for you?
No, I don't know about that.
What's the difference between a ghost and a ghoul?
Big difference.
What's the difference?
Look it up.
Well, okay, thank you, but I was asking
what's the difference between
I
a
wasn't
ghoul and a
asking you to
goblin?
then look it up. What is the difference?
Goblin.
Poppy,
You're a scary nut.
who was that?
Tony just wants to sing apparently in the corner. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, my microphone got turned on at an unfortuitous time.
Tony and I were doing a bit.
Yeah.
The audience will know.
Right.
It is time for Winning Wednesday. Poppy, are you ready for Winning Wednesday?
I'm never ready anyhow, so.
All right, what difference does it make? That's the kind of enthusiasm I was hoping for as we go into Winning Wednesday, Papi. Do you understand what we need to do? Does this music inform you on what needs to be done here? What needs to be done?
I got to make a prediction, I guess, right?
What needs to happen on Winning Wednesday, Papi?
Somebody got to win.
That's right, Papi. That is the
Winning needs
correct
to happen,
answer.
yes.
Somebody has to win. So Tony is here, and he stinks at this, Papi.
That's unfair.
Is it unfair?
Yes, it's absolutely
I mean,
unfair.
he's responsible for one of our winning parlays.
Thank you.
So
And he had the lock of the century, I think.
That hit, yeah, the Angels
matter,
over the A's in 12 by 1.
No, it was some MMA thing.
Oh, no, that was the lock of the millennium.
Oh.
That's why you said century. I was thinking
This
the
is
Angels
the
game.
thing, okay? And this is why this is flawed, and I'm worried for gambling companies getting in business with us.
We're doing well for them. We're just giving them money.
It's yes.
They
With our
want us to
horrible
lose,
picks, we're
Dan.
doing nothing but helping.
They love us.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough.
Best partners ever.
Fair enough. But we keep coming on here, and when the lock of the century, he's waving it around as Dan, don't tell me I'm a loser. Listen to me. I gave you the lock of the century, and the Angels beat the Guardians in extra innings by a run.
They had it the whole time, though,
it's
Dan.
like it's not a lock of the century, and then he goes to Millennium.
Had to
This is
sweat
not.
it out.
The
Yeah.
point is, this is not going well, and we need to fix it.
For DraftKings, it is. Again,
For
a reminder. For
DraftKings.
us, not so
All right, well, let's
Yes.
do better, right? Poppy, you're.
I don't know if we want to do better.
We do. Poppy, I want Poppy to break DraftKings because what are we here to do today, Dad?
We got to find a winner.
That's right.
Puppy.
That's right. That's Poppy. You got it. So, Tony, where are we? And are we fading your picks in a phony? Is that because this has been our gambling advice? Hey, listen to our expert, Tony. We're going to go against what he's saying.
Yeah, Dan, but I'm on a hot streak, obviously, as we know.
Yeah,
and
you are.
I'm really hot on the Marlins. I know they're on a 3-game skid. I know they're playing the Rays, a little
God,
interstate
no.
rival. But Dan, do you know who's on the bump tonight for the Fish?
No.
Who say it?
Neither do they. It's undecided at the moment.
Oh, wow.
And I love that. No game plan, no film on undecided. You don't know who's coming out. Is it
Can't plan
Sandy?
for
Is it
undecided.
Pablo? Is it the other guy? I don't know.
Okay, so that's the last trick in the book for Billy's beloved Marlins is you know who we're going to beat you tonight. You're going to get to the game, and we're going to be
No
undecided.
game plan. Nothing you can do.
How are you going to plan for us? We are undecided.
And so the Marlins run line plus 1.5 is minus 125. As a result, we'll be taking the Tampa Bay Rays minus 1.5.
Foolish. It's foolish.
Plus 105 is our first leg of the parlay. Our second leg of the parlay will come courtesy of Jessica Smetana. There is a big contest in the WNBA playoffs tonight. Jess, what do you have?
The
for us?
dub.
Contest, it's a game.
It's the semifinals of the WWE playoffs. It's the Aces and the Storm. Game 1 ended in very exciting fashion, only a 3-point margin. And for some reason, the Aces are -5.5 or -5, I believe.
Yeah, no,
right now.
5.5.
5.5. So I think we're gonna pick the Storm, unless you're fading me, and then we're gonna pick the Aces.
Well, no, we can't fade Jessica. How do we do this? Because we've got one part phony. And that's one part of the bet, but we have to. If you, Jessica, if we can get this audience to care about women's sports, you know how we do it? By winning them money.
Yes.
By winning. If Jessica can find us little secrets,
Not sure if I like
little secrets in the kingdom,
Right. They should be into it anyway. You're right.
They should be. They should be, but that's not what's happening
I
here.
mean, this is Sue Bird's final run. I mean, and it's been exciting. I've been watching some of it.
ESPN Daily also did a great episode on Kelsey Plum and her breakout season this year.
She's good.
Are the chickens coming back out?
God damn
The
it.
chickens are coming back. I knew it.
Jesus.
I've been watching. I've been watching them. Tremenda muela. Tremenda muela. Wait a minute. Hold on. Tremenda muela. Hold on.
Watch
Hold on.
highlights.
That should be Refran del Dia.
Yeah.
Papi, define for the audience who yelled that. Tremenda muela.
That
That
was
was Lewis.
Anthony. That was Anthony.
I don't. That was a chicken. It sounded like a chicken to me.
Yeah, but it's a chicken disguised as Anthony. That's okay.
What does it
It was a
mean?
Tony sounding chicken.
Tremenda muela is a lot of talk going on.
Dan, I don't know if you heard him too. He goes, "El tipo es tremendo dentista."
What does that
Laugh
mean,
at that,
Papi? What does that mean, Papi?
That guy is a great dentist.
Well, because a muela is like a
It's a
molar,
molar,
so
yeah.
it's also like a big lie, tremendo muela. So if he's a great dentist, he's dealing with a tremendo. It's layered.
All
don't
right,
worry.
what are we deciding? That Jessica? Are we fading Jessica? Is it a Fessica?
We are sticking with her unless you like the sound of that. All right, we're sticking with Jessica's pick.
Yes.
We're gonna go for the Storm plus
It's a good
5.5.
pick. Yeah.
And we're gonna go for the Tampa Bay Rays minus 105 on the minus 1.5 on the run
Well
line, plus
put.
105.
Yes. Okay. An excellent pick
I'm
on behalf
spinning a lot
of
of plates
all
here,
of us.
man.
I know.
The Rays
Good
and
luck,
the
everybody.
Storm. Is that it? Rays and the Storm?
I mean, we could do one more. One of our very own, Juju Gotti, is going to the Chicago Sky game tonight against the Connecticut Sun. Wow.
All right, Juju, help us out here. If you want to go, let's go. We're going to go a 3-team parlay here.
Have you been watching that series? It's been a classic. I'm saying to Dan, I'm asking you, have you?
I have not been.
Chicken time.
Those are the chickens.
You're adding nothing to this conversation. Zero. Dan, we're gonna stick with the two legs here on the parlay.
Really?
Yeah, we try and keep the odds relatively low. Why? Because it allows us to have a boost, and so we'll go for the 2-leg parlay of the Storm and the Rays.
I'm sorry, Juju, that was done to
Just
you.
for funsies, what would Juju's pick have been?
Yeah.
Two Americas.
Oh.
Oh, look at Papi. Papi, what happened? Why did you throw your thumb over your shoulder, Papi?
No, that's fine.
That was your music. The music.
That's
You
right.
like the music.
Sure,
What do
I
you mean
like the
that's
music.
fine, Papi? You were moving your shoulders is what you were saying. You knew that this is Papi's segment. This is
got
Papi's
it.
music here. And Papi's now ready to talk to Tony. What do we have here, Tony?
Dímelo, mi gente!
Papi, you got to meet him with some enthusiasm here. He's
Tell me,
coming
my
in.
people.
Tell me, my
That's right.
people. That's right.
So we have a little double refrán del día for you. Obviously, we gave una muela, which was a lie or some sort of fib earlier. Stu is a great dentist, deals with a lot of muelas, deals with a lot of lies.
Thank you.
But we have the wheel, and we listen to the almighty wheel. Let's spin it.
Oh, we spent it.
Close
Spun
up.
it incorrectly.
Hey! This is a personal favorite one of mine. It's not bad. No curse words.
BB?
No. All right, today's refrán del día is Se rayó el disco.
Oh, we got a broken record now.
Or scratched record, right?
Scratched record, broken record.
A scratched record, right? Billy, why are you cringing?
Use that in a sentence.
Use it in a sentence?
Yeah.
Well, it's more of like a comment that I would throw to you. Like, let's say me and you were talking and then you get stuck on something.
Yeah.
Or you say something and I go, bro, tipo se rayó dico. Like, come on, let's go, get to it.
So like earlier, when you were telling the story about the phone calls that lasted 4 days.
No, but that wasn't like... It's not a long story. It's just you getting stuck in a certain part, right?
Couldn't it also be like like in a movie when it gets really awkward and they do the record scratch thing? Like, could it connote awkwardness?
No.
Okay.
I would say that this segment, se rayó el disco.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Asked and answered. I mean...